nice little email. It said, "Hey, our rates came down and your loan qualifies."
Oh,
Yeah, a whole quarter percentage.
geez. Oh, you know what? Let me pull up the MBS stuff.
All right, it's there. You can go to my webpage and then my Facebook page and move it over. I'm going to put it into the group right now. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it as always. Beautiful Friday here down in Corpus. A little bit overcast, which just makes it a little bit cooler down here. We're wrapping up most of our construction down here. We're getting pretty close here, and then, which is perfect because we have all right. Excellent. All right, let me get this thing going. It is still July. All right, Brian answered. So let me. Yes, need to move over to EXP. Let's go. Come on, man. Are you with Keller, Brian? I'm sorry. We're talking. We're. You're in the middle of an EXP recruit, everyone. Brian, are you with Keller? Are you with Keller or Remax? I forget who you're with, or is it a local guy? I don't know. You can respond to us privately, and that means I won't tell everyone. But yeah, so EXP again. The whole reason we moved over is really stocks, and Catherine looked at. She just looked at. She's not even paying attention to Jason, but she looked at her revenue share, and she's already made $1,100.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is and she's not capped, right?
Yeah.
So you don't be capped, and it's not profit share. It's just, hey, in the last 30 days, agents underneath you did this, and you're entitled to $1,100.
It's great.
Yeah, it's really great.
I think the biggest point you made there is too busy to notice, like, he's got revenue share. Like, that's the whole point, right?
That's exact. That is it. Passive income at its finest.
Yep.
And then again, relying on us to support all the team. And I mean, we really just. I know Audra has done a ton of deals for us, and her team is working on that. And I'll just tell you why. I think Audra's pretty close to capping. I think she caps in about a month, so she's going to be with EXP for less than 3 months and cap. I mean, she has her own deals. I don't want to downplay her. She's a fantastic real estate agent. But we've sent her over, I'd say, close to $2 million in deals so far.
Yeah, she's pretty happy.
Yeah, $2 million. And again, it's not because we have anything exclusive with her. It's just that you other guys haven't signed up yet. You haven't had a call with us. Well, so she's about to make $80,000 in 90 days working for Mr. Texas Real Estate. And I ain't kidding you. I'd love to have some other folks. We are in desperate need in our group for a leasing agent. I mean, guys, we are leasing 16 to 20 property doors a month, right? So that's just another great revenue stream right there. So if you know anyone that's thinking about moving over, has got some experience, look, we don't want it. We brand new people, we'll find you a home, we'll help you guys out. But Mr. Texas Real Estate at this point needs some experience around us because we cannot keep track and do everything that we need to do at this point. We need some help. So if you are thinking about EXP, let's go. All right, that's enough of that pitch, Brian.
Rob, who was she working with before, Rob? I mean,
a couple other investors, yeah. A couple other investors. Hey, they're fine, dude. Okay, so today, this is my disclosure. As always, this is my disclaimer. Hey, we're going to talk about securities. We're going to talk about our crowdfund. We're going to talk about tenants in common. We're going to talk about loans. We're going to talk about syndications, and this is all for demonstration purposes. It's all for demonstration purposes and education purposes. If you want to be solicited, then you're going to go see Brian. Okay? And then we just had a great little webinar on Wednesday that kind of went through the golden rules, and we do follow the golden rules. So we would certainly like to start a relationship with you, and we'll see where it goes. It's like dating. We are on the radio every night, Monday through Friday in Houston, also live streamed on 1070 The Answer. You can also check us out on our podcast, our YouTube, and our Facebook Lives, iHeartRadio, and basically wherever podcasts are out there. Actually, Jason, you know, you can go to iHeartRadio on Roku. So we're on our TV in all our Airbnbs.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. Hey, if you guys want up to date it, if you want to get trolled by Jason about the mask thing, join the Mr. Texas Real Estate Group with Jason Bible and Robert Orfino. You know, we're still trying to figure out. I have now every investor, everyone who's actually lent, invested, or have you know, are anticipating coming in with us. I'm just asking a question with no judgment at all because I'm trying to figure it out. And actually, I'm getting on a tangent here. I'm just asking them, do you wear a mask or not? And the two investors I talked to today were like, yeah, why wouldn't you wear a mask? Like I have my kids wearing masks, and it's like, okay, I got it. Right there, dude. Anyway, you get trolled about the mask in Mr. Texas Real Estate, along with other good stuff. Hey, here's our sponsor, Jet Lending. Boy, we sure work with them a lot, don't we, Jason?
Yeah, they're doing okay with Mr. Texas.
They're doing all right. They might want to throw some pizzas at us for you know, Dungeons and Dragons night, right?
That's right.
Maybe sponsored a little round of D&D. This round of D&D is sponsored by Jet Lending.
Yep.
Anyway, we're having fun. So seriously, guys, Rob Trigg is your guy over there. 281-872-7800. Give Rob a call. We just threw another one at him. Hey, man, we got this one. We got to close in a hurry. He's on it, sending out his appraiser. Let me make a little distinction between Jet Lending and even Capital Concepts, and I'll get there when we talk about money. Patent title, these guys are a deal breaker for us. If we're not using patent title, it is very reluctant. We're reluctant to do the deal unless we can use patent title. Most of the deals we pay for the title anyway, so we get to choose. But patent title for sure is going to be a deal breaker if we can't use them, and it should be a deal breaker for you. Give them an email at mrtxre@patenttitle.com. Now, if you're closing something quickly, then let's just go right ahead and text me at 281-401-9008, and I will get you in touch with the team over there to get you guys set up. Capital Concepts, that's Blake and Sean. They are itching to get into the getting our carpet quotes today, so we're getting pretty close to the end of the construction over there. We are definitely under budget, but we are well over our expenses, so we've got to figure a few things out. But the building is looking fantastic. If you haven't seen the sign, and Blake and Sean will be joining us in the building. When you're in the building, you're asking about hard money, I'm going to walk you right over to their office. Give them a shout, mrtxre@foresmartmoney.com. Check them out at foresmartmoney.com. Look, these guys lend. That's their business, right? So give them enough time, they'll get you a Lambo and a boat. You know, get you some loans on that too.
Lambos.
Hugo, who I believe is also going to be in the building. This guy is he's a very proficient investor, so he's a guy you want to get to know. Secondly, he is absolutely crushing it in his business, where he helps you build out and lay out and gets all your plans together, gets the permit submitted, brings it to the city, takes care of all the ups and downs. So give them a call, 281-372-155-555-555. That's Hugo, plans and permits. Jennifer Hernandez, where we're going to be sending one of our mastermind members to, because he has less than 4 of the FHA Fannie Mae loans, so he's going to get an investor loan under 5% on a 30-year fix. And that's what Jennifer's going to be able to help you with. www.loanwithjen.com. She's fantastic. We really got to get her in on some of these recordings now that we're moving our studio. So give Jennifer a fantastic. She's awesome. Give her a shout. We have some deals, guys. Deal alert. Deal alert. We have some Airbnbs at the beach. We've negotiated some good terms. We figured out some good things. We think these things make money. If you know what we're doing on Airbnb, we're happy to show you our receipts for the last 90 days. So you guys can kind of get an understanding why I tell you that this duplex should be renting about $10,000 a month during peak season. Peak season is going to be June, July, August, September, $40,000 to cover your nut on a $200,000 project. That's great. Then we have a really large lot and a beach house with some great decking system. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but they're going to be repairs. If you want Mr. Texas Real Estate to quote you on the repairs, we'll quote you on the repairs. Just so you know how we work, we're only doing construction for ourselves, our mastermind members, and then once in a while when we do these wholesales to the public. And the way we work is we're cost plus 24%. It keeps us about a 20% margin. A lot of these other guys are going to be cost plus 40%, cost plus 50%. They act like they're builders and they're not builders. Just be aware of that. We think we're very conservative. We pay our guys a fair wage. We hire guys that are good and professional. So, you'll find guys cheaper. And if you heard of your own handyman, then certainly you don't need us. But when we go down and quote you the repairs on the property, we're going to guarantee that number, right? There's going to be a guarantee on there. So you can feel good that when we do put out a wholesale deal, we are going to be pretty spot on with our repair numbers. So if you're interested in that, it's going to be text me right now, 281-401-9008, 281-401-9008. I'm going to go ahead and text that out there. There you go. And I would say along with this deal, you should probably throw in $500, or we'll go ahead and give you George's $1,000 class for free if you're going to buy any one of these. So you're going to get a little kicker from us because we want you to be prepared for Airbnb. Hey, look at that. Our sign came in this week, Jason. Looking good. Looking good. I just bought $2,000 worth of paint yesterday, so paint's going up. I know it's raining up there, but paint will be going up over the weekend. I'll be on that lift, rolling some paint out there, spraying it. It's looking great. But that's our first little accomplishment. Check. It's done. The sign looks great. And you know what, Jason? It lights up at night, dude.
Oh, we got the lights working?
Oh, yes, we do. Yeah.
That's cool. Maybe I'll go by, if I get a chance this weekend, I'll take the boys up there. We'll take a picture of it at night.
Yep. We're building a better community, guys. We're really, these things are filling out. We're getting more and more. We just got our first residential mortgage company coming in. So they're about to sign a lease. We're very excited about having them. We're getting our first home inspector to pick up an office in there, which is super exciting. So again, when you're at our seminars and doing all that stuff and people are asking, hey, who do you use for home inspections? I'm not going to take you by the hand because I'm germophobic to begin with, but I'm going to point you down the corridor to our home inspector. So if you're in the real estate world and you want to work with our community, I would tell you that it's going to be really good for you to get an office here. And I think this is the total that we have left. We have about 36 offices, but we have less than half available, 13 singles, 2 doubles, 3 suites. And we have 1 anchor spot. There's still 6,000 square feet available. We're pushing on that. It's going to be this massive state-of-the-art learning center with 100 people, learning center, cafe, call center, 40 workstations, conference rooms, and a media broadcast studio. If you're a tenant, you'll also get on the air with us and get some radio spots. And if you want to move forward and get your own podcast, we'll show you how we can do that with you. So again, we're building this community. We want the people in our community who are renting spots from us to be influencers. We want to pick up all that foot traffic and get new clients. So again, if you're building your business, if you're in the real estate business, you should have an office there. Club 45, we kind of talked about that as we went on in. I believe our first Club 45 is coming up either next week or the following week. There's still 2 weeks left in this month, right? Yes. Next week or the following week, we're going to talk about what we're actually looking for. Like I said, we are desperate for a leasing agent. And again, we're buying 15, 16 doors a month. Our mastermind students are matching that. So imagine being a leasing agent and just walking right in with 30 leases in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we need help with leasing. We need more help in acquisitions. We're starting to list some projects. Again, our mastermind students are prepared to buy. I think that we've got about 6 or 7 properties teed up that these guys want to start taking down, are looking for help. So again, we want you to have some experience. Club 45 is for those of you who've done 4 transactions in the last 12 months and to come over, are going to build your own marketing team. You're going to market for yourself. But as well, if you're going to do all that things, if you're going to run your independent real estate business like you should, you're an agent, you know you have to spend money on marketing, or you have to go door knocking. You're supposed to do that. You have your farm, you send your postcards, you get 4 transactions minimum a year. That means you're eligible to join the Club 45. And from there, Club 45 agents are going to go ahead and get some deals from us. So now you're going to take your 4 deals and double it into 8. So we're going to lay all that out for you coming up. We'll send out the link. And we would love to see you, some experienced agents, come over. We are looking, and we are recruiting. I know she's not watching, but we're recruiting, and we need someone for just land acquisition. Like if you're in that little niche and you figured out how to find land, we'd love you on the Club 45 because we've got developers now. We've got 3 developers looking to buy religiously and consistently. So we got leases, people who can find land for us, people that want to get some of the work that comes out of Jason's world and our world and pick this thing up. It's a very exciting time if you're an agent and you want to move over to EXP. Now, unfortunately, if you're with EXP, you're already with someone else's group. Not much I can do for you there. But the Club 45 is going to be those that want to join the Mr. Tech's Real Estate Group. So very exciting times. We'll get more information as we get closer. This started last night. We had about 7 or 8 people on. It was great. So there's a couple more spots left. It's $1,000. It's 10 weeks of group coaching. We're going to go through step by step. Yesterday, you talked about the acquisition strategies on how to grow your Airbnb business, right? You went into the steps and the outlines. There's bonus videos. There's a whole bunch of stuff up there. So if you're interested in that, let us know. It's $1,000. It's usually $19.97, and it's not too late to join this round of classes. So I think we have 2 or 3 spots left, guys. If you're interested, you've got to move on it now. And I think there were some people interested. We'll do some follow-up today. So that's it. Wow, I'm almost done. Hey, tomorrow, finding private lenders. Again, the intent of that class is going to have you ready to pursue private lenders, right? Figuring out how to find them, what to say to them, how to transact with them, lay out your proposition. And then on Sunday, we're going to do social media. And the intent there is to set you up as a market influencer without having to lie and do bullshit on Facebook. These are 2 phenomenal classes. And I mean, again, one of my developers took this class and already he's running out on this stuff, raising millions of dollars. So, boy, we really need to get better at the testimonial, Jason, because we've helped so many people and we've already made a few millionaires already this year. We just got to get them on video. But the private lending and the social media stuff goes hand in hand. It's $144. You really, really need to go and take this class. You'll be getting emails on it today, tomorrow, and Sunday morning. So that's it. Again, if you want to invest with us, you got Brian to talk to. All right, Jason, I'm going to hand it over to you, and then you're going to give it me back, and I'll be prepared on the updated mortgage rates, the stuff we got from our lender partner.
Okay. Can you there we go. Now I'm host. All right. Let me do the quick screen share. This was Wednesday night right here.
Oh boy.
D&D night. So Nathaniel just sent me a message. So if you guys want to come out and play, send Rob a text message. I think Emily, which is Val's sister, they said they were talking on the phone yesterday, and she wants to come out and play with us. She said that her sister called, said, "How was the dungeon?" Just like that. Val was like, "It was really fun. We had a great time." So anyways, I'm going to post that picture up later. So if you guys want to come out and play with us,
yeah, just let us know.
Send Rob a text. Okay. I am having fun with the, how can I put this? With the people on Facebook. I won't use a pejorative to describe them. But let me just share with you real quick for folks who are not invested deeply in dogma and protecting their freedoms and all that kind of stupid stuff I'm hearing on Facebook. This is a really basic study on the assessment of fabric masks as alternatives to standard surgical masks in terms of particle filtration efficiency. Great little article. Now, you're probably wondering, why is this coming out of the Environmental Engineering and Marine Sciences group? Because it's not the, quote, biologist, if you will, that study this. It's actually environmental science folks and physicists. So my undergrad's in environmental science, and I'm going to show you this really quick paper. It's super easy to read, and it's really, really good. It's only 8 pages. But I'll get down here to basically what they're doing is they're looking at an N95 mask, which is something that healthcare professionals use. And then they're looking at the homemade masks. And so let's go down here. I just want to show you something real quick. There's a device called a port account. In fact, this is the technical term for it. It's made by a company called TSI, and it generates particles. And this is I've used one of these a million times. They work real simple. Think of it kind of like you guys ever have a humidifier in your room when you're sick? Or when you were a kid, maybe your mom put a humidifier in there and put that Vicks Vapor Rub on your chest. That's all this thing does. Now, I'll tell you, it's very expensive, and it's a very technical piece of equipment. However, that's all it does. What it does is it generates particles using a 2% solution of sodium chloride, salt water, to generate particles at 0.05 nanometers. What does that mean? Or I'm sorry, micrometers. So what does that mean? Oh, and a standard deviation about 2.2. So it makes these particles at 0.04. And what it does is it measures how much it puts out in front of the mask, and then there's a piece of the port account that measures filtration. So it measures the inside of the mask, and that difference between the inside of the mask and the outside of the mask will tell you what percentage of particles that size or larger would be blocked by the mask. It's a really simple piece of equipment. So the next question is, well, how big is the coronavirus? And I found this great picture, which I can almost tell you, I can almost guarantee in the next 24 hours to end up on my Facebook page. This is 0.007. So this is like really high filtered masks. This is coronavirus at 0.1. That's bacteria at 0.5. I think that's a piece of dust at 2.5. That's a red blood cell. In fact, let me see if I can show you a better picture of it. This one's a little bit better. That's a red blood cell, and that's a PM10, what they call there's PM 2.5 and PM10. I don't want to get into why those are important and all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, a coronavirus, by itself coronavirus, which we do not shed the actual viral particles. The virus is usually attached to our mucous membranes. It's attached to our spit and our sneezes and all that other stuff. But the coronavirus itself is 0.1 microns. That's what it looks like, 0.1. So let's go back to this. The port account measures 0.04. So the port account measures particles even smaller than that. Almost, what's the quick math here? 2.5 times smaller. So if the coronavirus were 2.5 times smaller, it would still be able to be measured by a device like this. So let me I'm going to skip right down to the piece that really matters. Here are all the different masks they use. They actually ordered a medical dental mask from Staples. Here's your 3M built M95. Here's different sewn fabric masks. They even go into what size they are. And so this is like the stuff that you see people using. In fact, they even put in here how to make the masks. Like, you can click on the links and you can go in and make the exact mask that they used in the experiment. So great paper, but let's go down here to the stuff that matters. So here's all the different masks. And this is what a port account looks like. So this is the portion that's measuring the inside of the mask. This is the portion that's measuring outside. So this is just one of the masks. So the other thing they did is they took some of these homemade masks, and you can tell this isn't like super tight fitting. And then they put like a nylon stocking layer over it and tested that. They did an A/B test with that. So let's get down here to the important piece. Here we go. So all these people that are telling you masks don't work, Now remember, this port account is putting out particles that are 2.5 times smaller than coronavirus. So I'm sorry, not B. The blue bar here is average removal and normal well wear percentage. In other words, at that certain percentage. So how much is it removing from the air? How many particles are not making it through? Probably is a better way to put it. And then this gray one right here is when they add that nylon layer. So there's your N95. It's like 97%. 97% of the particles are not going to make it through. Incredibly amazing piece of technology. Here's another 3M mask at 75%. This is the staple surgical mask, removing almost 60% of particles, again, that are 2.5 times smaller than the coronavirus and larger. Here's the charcoal mask. And then remember when I clicked on those links? Here's all your different masks, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Again, you can go back to the top and it'll tell you what those actual masks are, but they're all homemade. And then they added that nylon layer. Let me show you again. So this mask, which mask is it? Did they say? Oh, this is mask D. So this is mask D. Somebody made cutesy little mask. You guys see everybody wearing, and then they put on that nylon layer. This thing you guys see right here, see that little tab right there? That's where you hook the port account up to detect how much of the particles are going through the mask. That's how you get the inside measurement. So that was mask what? D? Is that what it said? Yeah, that was mask D. And they just took that picture just as a representation. So here's mask D. So that little cutesy mask she was wearing filtered out 60% of particles that were 2.5 times smaller than coronavirus. And when they added that goofy little nylon layer, it almost removed 80%. So if you're reading this stuff on Facebook that tells you masks don't work for coronavirus, it's absolute and utter nonsense. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This is real science. This is very easy to produce. This is a super easy study to replicate. Again, we're very, very familiar with this is called fit testing. We're very familiar with fit testing. This goes on all across the country every single day in every industrial setting you can imagine. They're doing this. This is very sound science here. Like this is not any kind of shock. So if you guys want to read this article, you can. The masks absolutely work at filtering out coronaviruses. Do they filter out 100%? No. No mask will filter out 100% unless you're in some kind of supplied air situation, like running the SCBAs that you guys see on like Outbreak and that sort of thing. But they absolutely work. Anybody who says they don't work is absolutely bonkers at this point. It's just, so I'm having a lot of fun with those people. So that's what's going on in the coronavirus world. I thought I'd share that with you guys.
Yeah, Jason, that's your opinion. I think that's all fake news.
That's all. This is fake news right here.
I can make my own report that shows it doesn't work.
That's right. No, you can make your own graph, right?
Yeah, I can make my own graph.
I can make my own graph. So anyways, just ignore all those people. They're not, at this point, I think they're mentally not stable. I think that's where we're at this point. All right. So very interesting here. Again, I'm going to go over just 2 or 3 more coronavirus things and we'll get into the rest of the update.
Well, hold on with the mask.
Okay.
Let's be serious. We got about 100 people watching us here.
Okay.
Listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing that Jason and I talk about privately all the time. What is the upside of anyone who's telling people not to wear a mask? What is the upside? What is the end game? We don't know what the benefit is of them telling people not to. I get it. If they want to think it's an invasion of their freedom, which is fine. But why would you tell other people that, right? You can do your own thing, because to me, the only thing I can see is ego. Like I was wrong on how long it's going to last. I was wrong on the deaths. I was wrong, but this is the thing I'm going to hang my hat on and go to over social media warfare on. And I don't see the upside. Why would Why would you do it? What is the purpose of doing it other than ego and trying to feel superior? And even if it's not that, even if you are an earnest libertarian, right? Straight up libertarian. And I know lots of libertarians and I lean libertarian, right? So I get it. Hey, this is infringing on my liberties. I totally get the thing. But here's the problem. What if you're wrong? What if, based on this study, masks can prevent, not 100%, but a portion thereof? And people that you influence and people that follow you and people are in your church group are like, hey, well, Jason's saying that I don't have to wear a mask, so I'm not going to wear a mask, because there's a lot of downside if you're wrong. I don't see the upside if you're right. So I can't quite, I mean, we're talking about the who's and the what's and the reports and all that other stuff, and I always go to the why. Why is this happening? And I can't figure out the why. I can't figure it out. If there's a massive downside to this, that, you know, if you're wrong, you're wrong in a big way.
Yeah, look at I like Rob said, we literally have this discussion every day, because really what Rob and I do is manage risk. We borrow money from a lot of y'all and your families, invested in real estate. So all we worry about all day is not finding the next deal, it's managing risk.
Manage the risk. Yep.
So when he and I are watching this and I look at this and I'm like, wait a minute, what's the upside of telling someone not to wear a mask? Because masks are not harmful. Like, wearing a mask doesn't hurt you. It doesn't kill you, despite all the stupid stuff you're reading online. There's no downside to wearing a mask.
Well, you have to wash it, or otherwise it starts smelling like Fritos.
Right, you got to wash your underwear too. I mean, it's like, surprise, surprise, right? But what's the downside? The downside is people can get really sick. And that's one of the stories that is hard to get out of this, out of the media right now. One of the things they figured out 4 or 5 months ago is that the amount of viral load that someone takes is in direct proportion to how sick they get. So let's say you're wearing one of these little masks and it's only 30% effective. Well, you're going to take a lot less viral load when you get exposed to it than if you didn't have the mask. So your disease severity is going to be much lower. So, like Rob said,
at the end of the day, I still, again, I don't know what the upside is. Again, and like he says, this is our day. Hey, we're going to do this deal. What's the upside? What's the downside? What's the risk? How do we identify it? Oh, we better get this guy. Call Nick over here. Get that insurance. Hey, see if we can't get the insurance pushed here. Right? This is kind of what our minds are at. And then when we see this stuff, we just kind of apply our sort of daily routine to it. We can't figure it out. We don't understand it. And so I ignore it, and Jason trolls them. So that's kind of what we're doing, so you understand what's going on.
So we have a lot of fun with it. But in any case, this is fun. I love this. This is going to end up on Facebook at some point. This is pretty entertaining. So again, I'm just going to talk just for another couple minutes about COVID, and then we'll get into market stuff. This is very interesting. According to CNN, I get it's fake news. Trump hates them, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
An unpublished document prepared for the White House coronavirus task force, but leaked to the media nonprofit, who cares, recommends that 18 states in the coronavirus red zone should roll back their reopening. And the reason I'm reading this article to you guys, or at least this portion, is this right here. This is the first time I've heard this. And that is, they define the red zone as a core-based statistical area, which really is an MSA, not a CBSA, and counties that during the last week reported new cases above the rate of 100 per 100,000 population, or a positivity rate above 10%. So one of the things that Rob and I have been asking for months now is, what is the metric we're using to say we're going to close stuff, we're going to open back up? Are we not going to do social distancing? We're going to do social distancing. And it looks like this is the first time I've actually seen some numbers that say if states or counties exceed 100 per 100,000 or have a positivity rate above 10%, then they should probably roll back some stuff or close some gyms and bars and wear masks and all that other stuff. And just for grins, I went over to TMC's website and was looking for, where's it at? Where's their percent positivity? Give me 2 seconds, I can find it. Here it is. Here's the daily growth trend. That's not what I was looking for. Oh, here it is. Here's where we're at in Harris County. And you can see we exceeded 10% somewhere between the middle of June. So, in fact, that's 10% right there. By June 15th, we were already a positivity rate above 10%.
So I do want to add that there was an issue at some point where we were adding antibodies. Those that have tested positive for the antibodies is testing positive for the virus. So that means that if you had the antivirus present, which means you had it and gone through it and survived it, then your body has antibodies. And they are adding that to the test. And I believe they have, and I believe that would line up to week 14. You'll see the deep from week 15 and 16. They have stopped adding that to the test.
Yeah, and if I remember reading that article, it was 5 or 6%. It wasn't like.
Yeah, but there, I mean, it's almost, you can see when it happens.
Yeah, it went from 16 to 11. Right? And now what's funny is it went from 16 to 11. Now it's back up to 13. So imagine if you go back and look at that antibody stuff, I bet it was 7.6, 8 or 9 here, 10, 11, 13. I mean, you can see it's a pretty linear progression, at least starting back when we opened things up in June. So, yeah, it's interesting nonetheless. But anyway, so that's that. I will just throw these things out here. Antibodies are not going to work. It looks like now that antibodies are not going to be what gives you any kind of immunity. It's going to be in T cells. These literally came out in the last 24, 48 hours. This one actually came out in no, it was 15. Sorry. These are all peer reviewed. So you'll see like this was received May 20th, accepted the 7th, and then they got it published on the 15th. These are peer reviewed researchers. I mean, you can see it's a pile of researchers that are on here. So it looks like it's going to be T cells. And here's another one. It looks like T cells are going to be the thing that actually produce some sort of immune response in the body. It's very, very interesting. This gets into, I can read about, I don't know, a quarter of this thing, and I still got to have like a website open where I can search all the immunological terms because this is immune science. It's one of the most complicated aspects of the human body, and it gets real technical real quick. But I will tell you, the folks that are working on vaccines right now, they're working on some of the antibody stuff, but I think we're going to really see this coalesce around T cells. But anyway, like I said, this stuff literally just came out, and you can see this is what a real peer-reviewed research paper looks like. It's got a ton of names on it. You can see this is international. One of the things I posted earlier this week was one of the reasons our death rate is so much lower in the United States is because we benefited from the people who died in China and in Europe, particularly in Italy. And somebody said, no, that's not the case. And I said, yes, that is absolutely the case. We are doing so much better in the United States because the blood that was shed over this thing in Europe and Asia. That is 100% fact. So we are very fortunate that it didn't come ripping through this country first, because I guarantee you it would have been worse than China or Italy because of how crazy people have been. But
I think when you make an emphatic statement from now on, Jason, you should follow it with, yeah, Curtis. Even though it has nothing to do with Curtis. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. When you make an emphatic statement from now on, you say, yeah, Curtis.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's all my coronavirus stuff. If you guys want to Google this up, just Google up T cell immunity and COVID-19. You'll start to see some papers that pop up. These are two really good ones with a lot of really sharp folks on it. All right, here we go, kids. Today's theme is going to be the same thing we've had for a couple months now. If you think real estate's expensive now, just wait. Housing starts and permits disappoint amid tumbling demand for city living. Multifamily and single family building permits are down, way down, way down. Why is this exciting for us? I don't build new homes. We buy existing homes. This is just going to put massive, massive pricing pressure on the stuff that Rob and I are buying. I mean, look at this, is crazy. We're still not back to like 2006 levels. And we collapsed back down to 2014, 2013. I mean, it's just getting worse for those folks who are trying to build. I mean, if you're a builder, if you're a builder right now in some of these urban centers, it's not great. Yeah, look at this. Permits were down for multifamily 14%. Now that's good for current multifamily owners because this is going to put pressure on rents. Really is. However, I think if I were one of these urban centers, one of the big drivers of this disappointment was clear evidence of an exodus from city living or rentals. So if you're living, if you got these big projects, you're a big Class A tower in New York or Chicago or Seattle, people are moving out. Now, what's interesting is I'd love to know what's actually causing this. Is it coronavirus? Is it the economy? Or is it the riots? My guess is this has a lot to do with the riots. You know, people can live with a lot of stuff when they really start living in fears, when buildings start getting torched and autonomous zones start being set up in their neighborhood.
That's funny. I was gonna say it was probably the virus.
It could be the virus too. Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of apartment living out there, right? So
yeah, that's true. That's true. If you think real estate's expensive now, Texas edition. Rob, I have to go back and look at when you and I predicted this was going to happen. It had to have been, I know it was months ago.
Yeah.
But then all the nonsense that happened in Southern California, and then of course
Northern California.
Yeah, and then the Oklahoma reservation nonsense, because they said it would either they would either be in Oklahoma or in Texas, and I'm like, here we go, it's going to be in Texas. So they've approved all this stuff. I do think it's hilarious when a very liberal county like Travis County gives somebody tax breaks so they can get a big evil company there. It's
Someone posted today on your link that now the liberals are coming, and I thought do you believe that Elon is a liberal?
Yeah, who said Elon was a liberal?
I don't think he's a liberal at all. I think he's a libertarian dude, right?
Oh yeah, he went ranting and raving on Twitter. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I think everybody sees his girlfriend and he assumes they're like some kind of gothic liberal, whatever.
Oh yeah. And, well, they put the green thing on the liberal side, even though the conservative state of Texas is one of the greenest states in the country, right?
If I remember reading correctly, Texas produces the most green energy by far than any other state.
Yep, absolutely. All those liberals down here in Nueces County.
Yeah, it's all down there in let's see, that's buys the most.
They produce the most wind.
Yeah,
it's wind. They're number one on wind. Solar is California, then New Jersey, and then I forget the third state.
Yeah, this whole assumption that this guy's some big flaming liberal, I think, would sorely disappoint folks.
Yeah, but he's gonna put up some turbines on that property for sure. Mega turbines, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So they're coming. They're bringing. They're gonna build the Cybertrucks here. They're gonna do all kinds of stuff. It'll be hundreds of thousands of jobs. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Yeah. If you think rents are expensive now, just wait.
Hurry up, man. Well, you know what it is? It's time to buy that little city, right? What's that little? You pull it up on the map.
Yeah, pull it up. I'm gonna go to his neck of the woods. So they're going to be just outside the airport.
Yeah.
In Austin.
Yeah.
Which is right here. So he's going to be on the river. If I'm not mistaken.
The river's on the southern part of his property. Yeah.
So he's going to be, I think it's here.
No, you're right there. No, it's on that 46 right there.
Oh, so he's going to be right off of 46. Okay.
45 right there. Yeah, right there.
Be right here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all this. Look at all this, Rob.
Let's go. Buying. Look at that. Right, but now it's time to go get some land, man.
Dude, look at this. That's exactly what this is. This was on the market.
All that land, all of a sudden, boom,
contract. Look, that was on the market for almost 2 years. Contract.
Oh,
bang!
Oh my God! Oh, amazing.
Look at all these days on market, and now they're just snapping them up. That's nuts. That's just right here. So there it goes, kids.
Oh, you think Elon's gonna do a little tubing?
Oh yeah, we're gonna see Elon out there tubing. We're gonna see all kinds of shenanigans when he gets.
Wow, look at all that. I want to see that trend.
Look at this. That's 800 acres. I bet this thing gets snapped up. Yeah, this is gonna be nuts. Gonna be nuts. Yeah, these houses will start getting just.
There's gonna be 10 to 15,000 employees there, right? So I mean, Austin's already a stressed market.
Well, and what's nice is this is southeast.
Yeah, in and out pretty quickly.
Well, and you can live. I'll tell you, this is one of my favorite little towns right here is Bastrop. Bastrop is fantastic.
Yeah, but look at the prices, for God's sake.
Yeah, they've been going up like that for years. Wow, this is cool. They got so much cool stuff over there. Anyway, so yeah, if you think real estate's expensive now, Austin edition, the Hill Country was expensive before. It's about to get real expensive. In fact, why don't we do this? Let's look at everything below 250 grand. Look at all that pending.
Jeez.
There's already not much available.
Yeah, look at that.
Actually, that's over 240 results. Let's look at just for sale or for lease, what's available. 210. That's it. This is a huge area. You know, it doesn't look like it on the map, but it is really big. This is 3/4 of Austin right here. So this gives you an idea how much this
probably less than a month.
Well, from LaGrange to Austin is an hour. So this gives you an idea how far it. In fact, okay? That's 5. Why is that in kilometers? So, anyways, that's 5 kilometers. So it gives you an idea how many miles that is. But yeah.
Well, you're a lefty now, so you're all about the metric system and wearing masks.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You big liberal. It's 3 miles. In case anybody's wondering, 5 kilometers is 3 miles. So, yeah, they're going to snap all that inventory up. It's going to be gone. What is this for 47 grand? It's got to be a lot, right? Oh, it's a trailer. Holy cow, man. Maybe we start buying these. It's nuts. So anyway, so Elon's a coming. And what do we got here? Mortgage rates are still super low. And so with that, Rob, let me send this back over to you and you can talk about some of the loan terms.
Oh, yeah. Let me look at the sheet. She updated it again.
I think all Catherine does all day is just talk to lenders.
Pretty much. Let me find that. Yeah, there you go. So, hard money's hard money. It's all kind of the same, but what we're seeing now on the hard money side, and all I'm going to do is just put that screen up there. Getting some work done here. But the hard money is all pretty much the same. The big difference now is prepayment penalties, right? So just kind of understand how note buying works, right? Because now we're getting into the note world. If I'm a loan originator, right? And there's lots of companies that do this. So I loan originate. I get table funded, which means someone comes in with the money, right? And then that table funder then turns around and sells that note to the open market. The issue is usually the condition set is you need a minimum of 3 months of payments before me, the originator, is off the hook for the debt on that loan, which is what happens when back in 2009, 2010, when you hear these mortgage guys went completely belly up and lost everything, was because those loans defaulted in less than a 3-month period, and the people that had funded the loan came back to the mortgage guy and said, hey, you owe us XXXX, and everything went away. Same thing with, like, you heard the story of the largest hard money lender in the state of Arizona went to an event, black tie, cocktail, cigar, went to his $10 million home and blew his brains out, right? Because he knew it was over and that they were going to be calling all his notes that he had produced, but did not carry for 3 months to get him off the hook. So now the new carry is going to be anywhere between 3 to 6 months, meaning I can no longer sell this note unless it's been seasoned for 3 to 6 months. And if it's been seasoned for 3 to 6 months, therefore I'll buy it. However, But the hard money guys who the loan originators are getting around this on is they're simply charging you 3 to 6 months up front. So you've heard it. Now, hopefully you now understand why it's happening. Because they need to unload the loans. Real, true loan originators, mortgage guys, are using short-term money, 6 to 8%, to front your loan, and then they go ahead and sell that loan out at 10%, and they've made their points, and maybe they have 2% on the back end, whatever they're going to make some. So that becomes your issue. They have to unload those loans, unload those notes, right? So now we're getting into the note world, but that's really what it's about. So the big difference on hard money is now going to be 3 to 6 months of prepayment. We actually had one that wanted a 12 months prepayment. We said, hey man, at 2 points and 9%, I'll do that all day long. So we did. We gave him 12 months of prepayment. It was a small loan. It was 160,000, so it was nothing when it came down to it at 9%. I mean, yeah, we'll do that. It's not a problem. But other bigger loans, these big, we took a couple of $1 million loans out from Jet, and they made us come up with 3 months of payments minimum. So that's what's going on in the hard money world. In the non-QM world, where I just saw the last guy that we were using drop down. The ceiling is now 7%. So that makes sense to you. The highest I'm seeing now is 7%. Still, the floor is going to be just sub 6, like 5.75%, but you're going to have to do some good things with it. That's the non-QM world. Almost every non-QM lender is back to it. Everyone is back. There's that one company that claimed they were a text company, Jason. It does look like they're coming back for a couple months more. So everyone else that is just basically, again, these non-QM folks are really, they're note originators, right? And they're selling the notes now. So same thing. You've got prepayments on one of the non-QMs, and they're the lower ones. They can get down to 5.75%. They want 12 months of payments in advance. So they must be able to turn around that 5-year note as long as it's been 12 months seasoned at a decent rate, and they're making you pay the 12 months up front. So non-QM now, the ceiling I'm seeing is 7%. The floor is about 5.75%. Fannie Mae is still going to be your best bet if you have less than 4 properties in your personal name. Absolutely. Portfolio lenders going to be under 4% at this point. Fannie Mae, portfolio lenders, lines of credit. These are all full doc loans, 3 years of tax returns, showing really good income, 6-figure or better, 740, 800, and somewhere between 740, 800 FICO need it. Have to have 5 years experience in the business. All these things are very serious to get those lines of credit and those portfolio loans. And then again, Fannie Mae, working with a person like Jennifer to get your second or third rental property is fine. Just don't go over 4, even though she'll tell you that she can get you 10. Don't do it. Don't do it at all. Just get your 4. So that's the loan update. It's getting better. Best hard money we have seen right now is 3 and 10. To the lay person, the experienced lender, we've seen 2 and 9. It's the experienced borrower, 2 and 9. So that is a loan update. If you have any questions, I'll happily answer them. But I'd like to share that with you. And let's go back here. Anything else? Just remember, we have 2 classes this weekend, finding private lenders and the internet. So all right, guys, you don't have any questions. Thank you very, very much.
Quiet crowd today.
What'd you say?
I said quiet crowd.
Yeah, and then don't forget so 2 people have already texted me on this. We do have some Airbnb wholesale deals. We negotiated some decent stuff. The numbers work. The price is based on the numbers period, right? Because the numbers work. So there is an assignment fee in there, all that good stuff. Again, if you have any questions, hit me up. If not, we'll wait 10 seconds more.
Oh, Rob, they just can't resist not posting.
No. Anyway, all right, guys. We really do appreciate you guys' support and your attention. We feel very blessed and grateful that you guys are following us. Thank you very much. If you need to get a hold of us, 281-401-9008. Want to talk to Brian, 281-401-9008. And as usual, thank you very much. Have an awesome, awesome weekend. See you in class tomorrow.